Hi everyone, welcome back to the Daily Show. When looking at crypto, we can see in the past 24 hours, Bitcoin is currently up 0.69%. It's doing really well. It's currently 123,162. We can see as far as the top gainers go, they're just scratching out a very mild positive, but not too much. Now, what's going on inside the market? To understand how the crypto market is actually changing, we need to do a bit of a deeper dive. But before we do this, let's check out the greatest gainers. Mantle, SPX, XPL, which has been on a bit of a tear and across the past 7 days, not too good a one. Aptos, Pengu, Pith, and let's go to the greatest losers past 24 hours. MYX, Asta, Cake, Dexy, M, Floki. Now let's dive into what might be moving the crypto market. We have a very specific way of looking across markets. It's called intercorrelation. And row 1 and row 2 of the cheat sheet give you an incredible idea as to risk on or risk off. Row 1 and row 2 literally cover the risk on charts and the risk off charts. Row 3 is where row 1 and 2 hit because of row 4, and row 5 gets dragged along with everything else. And what's really important to note here is row 5 through to row 7 is the crypto market, but Bitcoin and total crypto market cap are 24/7 trading. They can give us some really good indications on the stock market's health. Let's get into row 1. Row 1 is all about the VIX, the DXY, US dollar currency index, dollar yen, the 10-year, the 2-year, and oil. What we saw in the past trading session inside the US market, the VIX came down and there was a disproportionate rise up in Bitcoin. Bitcoin really went for it. But then as the VIX came up, and this would have been seen across so many intercorrelated charts, so we'll look at that in a little while, we saw that Bitcoin has since been retracing. So big up because of this big down, big up in the VIX, putting negative price momentum inside the crypto market. We're noticing something here that is really quite important. The DXY, the Dixie, the US dollar currency index has jumped like a maniac. So has dollar yen. We would expect that the Aussie dollar will be plummeting down and also the euro will be coming down. And what about yields? When we look at the 10-year, we can see it's basically been following Bitcoin's directional momentum. Just look at Bitcoin as a risk on or risk off indicator. The 2-year has been basically following. We've seen a little bit of a closeout, a negative closeout there, but the issue is what's happening with Forex. It really matters. A lot of people say, I'm in the crypto market, I don't care what the DXY is doing. That's not such a good position because it actually really does matter. And when we look at oil, oil has jumped up. So we've got a jump in oil, we've got a jump in the DXY, a jump in dollar yen. We need to just rip across to row 2. Row 2 from the cheat sheet are junk bonds, the euro dollar, the Aussie dollar, gold, silver, and copper. Financial markets are pretty weird animals. There's a directional correlation, but it doesn't always hold. And what we saw here with junk bonds coming down, that should have pulled Bitcoin and crypto down, but it realistically didn't. Bitcoin has been doing well, and of course it hit the weekend, US markets closed, Bitcoin was off and just doing its own thing. Now, if we look into gold, we can see that gold and Bitcoin are starting to move together in directional alignment. What we typically find is a little bit of a variance inside gold. For example, gold will come up, Bitcoin will go down. Bitcoin will come up, gold will go down. You get the idea. And silver has been on an absolute tear as well. So it's coming up, silver's coming up, gold is coming up. What about copper? Ooh, yeah, it's coming up. Ooh, look at this. The euro has plummeted. Oh, we wouldn't see that coming, would we? Joke, joke. Of course we saw it coming because the DXY and dollar yen are coming down as well. So we're getting a bit of a picture that the Forex currencies are moving violently. Row 3 of the cheat sheet is the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the Russell. Now, this is basically frozen when the US market stopped trading, so it's not up to date. For an up to date, we must look into the futures, but we'll do that in a tick. When we look at the S&P 500, look at that directional correlation with Bitcoin. The blue line is Bitcoin. The candlestick chart is the S&P 500. What we're seeking to understand is the directional momentum. If things are, for example, if the main markets are coming down, we would expect crypto to get hit. If the main markets are going up, we expect crypto to go up. They go up and down in different percentages. That's why directional correlation is really important to understand. It's not the correlation you're taught in first and second year statistics at university. It's a little bit more advanced than that. So when we look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, following Bitcoin. What about Russell? Yep, he's following Bitcoin as well. And I was mentioning, we need to look into the futures. So looking at the S&P 500 futures, as the DXY jumped up, guess what the futures just did? They jumped up as well. How cool is that? And Bitcoin has got some positive price momentum. This is why you need to stack probabilities to understand what could be happening inside the market. If we were witnessing that the S&P 500 futures was just diving down and the Nasdaq was diving down and the Dow was diving down and Russell was diving down, well, that's going to throw negative price momentum in all probability into the crypto market. But we've not seen that. We've seen the exact opposite. So this, as long as it continues, this is all this price moving in a wave business, isn't it? So something can be going really well and decide to come back and then decide to go forward. And this is the thing that just absolutely whipsaws people's understanding completely around. When you get a violent sell down like that, whoa, it's pretty rough, you get a retracement as well. So these things do tend to normalize. Now, the key for us is this continuation to the downside or continuation to the upside. So far, Bitcoin is saying, yeah, I want to go up. Keep your eye on Bitcoin, and we need to look structurally. Row 4 of the cheat sheet, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Nvidia, and we're going to throw strategy in there as well, because it's a stock. When looking across row 4, we understand that the VIX came down here, well, actually it went up there as Bitcoin came down, and then the VIX actually went down as Bitcoin came up. Now, what happened to the stocks? Apple has been really well performing, but it did show a real crack of the concrete here. This is a sign of weakness. What about Tesla? Tesla is not currently feeling the love, but it's looking like it really wants to come back to that 444 number. Quite interesting. Microsoft, following Bitcoin's directional movement and the major market index's directional movement. A very interesting thing happened to Nvidia. Into the close, it went fully red and then it was brought back up by buyers. And what is happening to strategy? Strategy will definitely follow Bitcoin, but it's got a twist because it's also a stock. Row 5, we're looking at Bitcoin, total crypto market cap, and Ethereum. Looking at total crypto market cap, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. What we see inside Bitcoin was that we got that really big push up as the VIX was coming down. This is the reason that Bitcoin actually went for it. It was the VIX. Now, a lot of people don't understand the connection between the stock market and the crypto market. All financial markets are markets of money. It doesn't literally matter if your market of money is in commodities, it's in crypto, it's in stocks, bonds. It doesn't matter. Forex, which is literally the money of money, the market of money. But what really matters is how markets move together. Now, when the VIX was coming down, crypto got a big uptake because when Bitcoin moves, total crypto market cap moves as well. There always are lags between things moving around. Now, when Bitcoin moves up 1%, we would expect the crypto alts and pretty much everything bar Bitcoin to move up way greater than 1%, say 3%, sometimes it's 10%. The crypto market is really, really volatile. So that's why you can get a decline in Bitcoin of say 5%, and this is not a 5% decline, but I'm just trying to give you an understanding. And when you look at a crypto alt project, it can go down 20 or 30%. You must really be aware of these things. Not everything is created equal, especially inside the crypto market. We can see ETH just following Bitcoin's gravitational alignment, and the Pepe indicator is out. This is a custom indicator, so these particular structural levels go 3,500% up and about 95% plus the way down. They're annual investor levels. It's just a couple of members of the community reached out and said, Ken, what's the difference between a custom indicator and the monthly service levels? That is the difference. And also, the custom levels are trader levels, so there's more levels in there for you to get your focus on, and it really does help. When we're looking at Bitcoin, one of the things that I just wanted to let you know, the government shutdown is dragging on. They didn't do a resolution, they had to wait until the weekend finishes. Now, something that I wanted to show you here, these are Bitcoin longs and Bitcoin shorts. The Bitcoin longs are here. Now, what does it mean? When the VIX was coming down, the longs got super excited. They went, whoa, baby, I'm in. This thing is going to go to $1 trillion. Actually, it's going to go to structure. But they were really excited. Now, when that happened, they actually took out all the shorts. So the shorts had to cover. And as the shorts covered, they pushed all of this. So if you're going short or long inside the crypto market, inside any market, inside the stock market, please make sure that you understand the VIX and the major market indexes, especially those futures. Please let me know in the comments, what's your trading style? Are you a news trader? Are you an intercorrelation trader? Are you a structural trader? Are you a momentum trader, a swing trader, a combination of different things? Please let me know. I think it's really interesting to discuss. And when I know what people are actually doing, I can help you out much more. Let's have a look into Bitcoin. Now, what we want to do here is to look at the structural levels. Now, structure is wildly important because these structural levels are literally the resistance levels and the support levels inside the market. If you know where they are, you can do targeting. Targeting is really important. For example, we know as the VIX came down, Bitcoin just went nuts and liquidated through this 121,450 area. Now, if you're just looking at Bitcoin and you don't know why something occurred, it means that it's really a good idea to look at more charts. You need to stack probabilities. But what did we see here? We saw a positive CTKS gap and just an absolute barrage of CTKS levels. Now, a CTKS level is another word for saying structural. But these are the most powerful structural levels in existence. So when we draw one of these dotted lines in, it really means something. It's not random, it's very meaningful. So this 123,850 level was a level that you needed to be aware of. If we couldn't get above that, we were going to go back to around that 121,150 level, because this is an area of resistance, this is an area of support. Now you might say, Ken, but we didn't actually go into that level. We were just above it. Now this is a really good sign. This is called positive air. When you get positive air, it means the buyers are so strong that they're coming in to support the price. Now we actually saw that the trend was starting to change. Now, when trends start to change, we need to be aware of what's going to happen inside the market, and more especially, why it's going to happen. For example, if we look at this, we saw that the trend was indeed changing and it was getting strengthened because it wasn't coming down, it was starting to do structural passes. But that told us that the immediate area that we needed to focus on was this one. The 123,750 up to around that 124,550. There were so many sellers in here. Now, we did manage to get above it, but we got knocked on the head at 125,350. Technically, Bitcoin is in price discovery. Price discovery, that means no overhead resistance, right? Well, not really. Overhead price resistance is common in all charts that undergo price discovery. Price discovery is unfortunately a retail myth. It doesn't mean that there's not some degree of less overhead resistance, but the resistance is always there. And if we structurally fail at a significant level of CTKS resistance, which is just another word for saying structural resistance, that means that we're going to target the next level below. If we fail that, we're going to target the next level below. If we fail that, the next, until we find that we're getting some degree of support inside the markets. When people are new to financial markets, everything is really simple. Price goes up, bull market, price goes down, end of the world. It's kind of not like that at all. What you find is the price finds structural support, and the entire crypto market found structural support at that $4.11 trillion area. And then it jumped up when the price of Bitcoin jumped up. But this overhead structure was immediately and clearly inside the market. We couldn't get above 4.21. Now, if we can't get above, we're going below. So we have an immediate target. The fact that we had a structural overshoot here and at this one as well, means that there was a lot of panic inside the market. I think a lot of people have a feeling that with the government shutdown and Bitcoin just going parabolic and the market's getting a little bit frothy, people are starting to get somewhat concerned. But you don't need to get concerned. You just need to know where the structure is and how price is behaving with that structure. At the current time, we're heading towards that 4.16 trillion. Now, just remember, price is always moving in a wave. If we get up and confirm 4.16 trillion as structural support, we have to deal with these two areas, and they're quite strong inside the market. If we don't confirm 4.16, 4.11 opens up. This is the way that you must think about the markets. Don't just simply get sucked into that concept, markets go up, we're Lambo. That kind of thinking will destroy your account. Instead, think really differently in terms of intercorrelation, interconnection, and structure. When you know the structure, where it resides inside the market, you can make informed decisions. And that's what you should be doing, unless, of course, you want to gamble. Gambling is fun until you're handed the bill. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand that where Bitcoin goes, the entire crypto market will move directionally. If Bitcoin is coming down, the entire crypto market will move down directionally. If Bitcoin is coming up, the entire crypto market will move directionally upwards as well. Right now, we've got Aptos and Pengu as the best. And when we look down, we can see Cake. Yeah, he can't eat his cake right now. He's one of the greatest losers. And that little guy hiding down there is Dexy. Inside the crypto market, inside the stock market, you must be optimistic. Not blindly optimistic, but you must be optimistic. Optimists use the bad to strengthen and the good to appreciate. Gratitude and appreciation are really important skills. They are the foundation of happiness. Optimism is the fuel for progression. Negativity is pretty interesting. Of course, it's very fear-based. It's kind of like throwing the handbrake on your life. Our goal here is not just to be an emotional and financial blessing to ourselves and those we love. It's to bring positive change into the world as well. If we're thinking from a scarcity mindset, it's really hard to do that. If we're always angry, that's difficult to create wealth from that position. Therefore, appreciation is so important, as is gratitude, and appreciation is the foundation of kindness and love. Ken, what are you talking about this stuff for? I thought we were just some crazy crypto channel about making 100x gains. Making a 100x gain in terms of your happiness, that is the new wealth. Always remember, wherever you go, there you are. I was thinking, across the next 24 hours, it might be really nice to just share how you show appreciation and gratitude to those around you. And more importantly, how you feel after that. Keeping your mind really positive is very important. And if you go to @CTKS Method, don't forget that little @ sign. Just press search and you can go into the CTKS profit mindset. The daily positive affirmations of the creed are in here. And if you hit the playlist, you can see all of these particular songs. They're really, really good. They will help you with your mindset tremendously. More than any mindset video, these will change the game. And always remember that life wants you to succeed. So every day you can show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. All results come from the mind, and a better mind creates better outcomes. Better habits create a better life. If you stay dedicated and committed, if you focus on winning or learning and never blaming, you're going to have a wonderful life. And that is what it's all about. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.